Can you see my screen? Okay, so let me start it like this. Uh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so at the end of the day, this is how your app is supposed to look like. Let me show you how it's supposed to be. Then we start from there. Uh, at the end of the day, when you're supposed to behave like this,
If you account for the money,
oh, not again. Don't tell me my network is gone. Can you see my text box? Can you see my screen? Can you see my text box?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can see that I have entered something into my text box, right?
Yeah.
When I click on clear, those things must disappear. So it has disappeared, right?
Yeah.
When I click on next, it should open. When I click on next, it should open the second page. So this is my second page. Can you see?
Yes, please.
Now when I click on this button, this picture must disappear. Click, picture has disappeared. Within five
Yeah.
seconds, I decided to make it appear again after 5 seconds. So when I click, it disappears. Then after 5 seconds, it appears again. So you
Yeah.
can decide to make it uh, disappear for 20 seconds and appear the wow case. Now,
Mm.
when I click on the next, it should take me to the third screen. This is the third screen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the third screen is that some message should appear in the text box. So if I click on display message, then the message has come. Hello, my love. What do you have for me as my Valentine Day gift? It has come. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
this is what he wants you to produce, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take you through what I need to do to get this output. Then you can customize it to for yourself. You can add pictures and whatever you want to add, background color, whatever you want to add. Okay, so at the end of the day, you are supposed to get something like this. So let me close my filter. Then when you click on close, it should close. So when I click on close, it has closed. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So now, how can we get a form like this? How can we get a form like this? So I assume that you have already opened your app, your Visual Studio, and you know how to make the first form come. So once your first
Yes.
form has come, it will be like something like this. So let me teach you how to bring a new form. So you click on where the name of your app is, you right click on it, then you go to add, then you go to Windows form. Click on Windows form, then you should make sure that the name of the form is how you want it, but it should be .vb. Once it is .vb, click on add. When you click on add, the form will come. Then we need to introduce the tools we are going to use. Now we are going to use labels, patterns, and text boxes. So you click on the label, click and hold on it, then drag it to the playground. Click and hold and drag it to the
If you
playground. So now we need 9 of the labels. We need 9 of the labels. So because we need 9 of the labels, we need to duplicate them. So how do we duplicate? You just right click on the label, click on copy. As you click on copy, click any part of the form and click on paste. Click any part of the form, click on paste.
Yeah, bye.
Click on any part of the form, click on paste till you get 9 labels.
Where did it take
Click
down?
till you get 9 labels.
Two stages.
Click till you get 9 labels. Now, after getting 9 labels, you arrange them in
When
order
what
of
time
your
did it take?
preference. You arrange them in order of your preference. You arrange them like how you want it to look like. You
I
arrange
know. When
them
what 5 cities? 5 cities.
like how you want it to look like. So after arranging them, now we don't want the user to see label 1, label 2, label 3. We want the user to see student ID, study of course, name of institution, hall of residence, and those tabs. So that one, you need to do the editing at the property window. This is the property window. So you need to do the editing at the property window where my cursor is going round, round, round. That is where the property window is. So click on the label you want to edit or the two you want to edit. So I want to edit label 1. Click on label 1, then go to the property window and make sure you look for text. Text. T-E-S-T. Text. So when you look for text, then you click on where they have written label 1, then change it from label 1 to student ID. And once you have done it, you can go and click on the second one you want to change. Then you change it to the name you want. So maybe Hall of Residence. So Hall, H H A L L. So you go through the same process until you rename all the 9 labels to look like this. So the first one should be student ID, second one should be first
Yeah.
name, third one should be surname, fourth one name of institution, fifth one course of study, sixth one
Come
level,
okay. You know now. More about
seventh
man.
one hall of residence, eighth one telephone number, nine one email. So rename them like how you see it in your question. Then after that, you need to bring the text box where the user will enter
Oh, so
the
what did you
input.
say?
After letting your labels look like this, student ID, first name, surname, name of institution, course of study, level, hall, mobile, email. After doing that, that is after renaming all these labels, you need to bring in the text box, the one the user will enter his or her information into. So you go to toolbox, then you go and look for text box. Are we on the same course? Are we on the
Yeah.
same course? So you look for toolbox. This is where toolbox is. You look for toolbox, click on it, and drag. Then you release. You go to toolbox, click on toolbox, and drag. Hey, we see toolbox. Text box. Click on text box and drag it. Bring it to the playground. So similarly, you want to get 9 of them. So you right click, copy, then paste, then paste, then paste, then paste, then paste. So you get 9 of them, then paste, then paste. Until then you arrange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you arrange them. So in case maybe it's too short for you, you want it to be large, you just have to come to where this are, then you enlarge it. Come to where the small boxes are, then you enlarge it. Come to where the small boxes are, then you enlarge it to your preference. So let it look like something like this. Let it look like something like this. The text boxes, something like this. Then after that, after you are done with that, then we introduce what we call the button. We introduce what we call the button. We introduce what we call the button. Helena, can I continue?
Yes.
So you go to the toolbox. When you go to the toolbox, then you look for button. Button. So this is button. Then you click on it, then you drag it. So when you drag and drop, this one to the same thing. You can right click, click on copy, then I'll paste. We need 3 buttons. Paste. So then you arrange it in any arrangement you want. You arrange it in any arrangement you want. Now you need to rename the text. You don't want your user to see button 1, button 2, button 3. No. So you click on it, then you go to the properties, then you look for text, then you change the text to maybe the first one is what? First one by there. Maybe clear. So CLEAR. The second one is close.
Close.
CLOSE. The third one is what? Next.
Next form.
NEXT. So we are done with that. We are done with that. Then, in case you want to bring, you want to beautify the thing, you want to make it nice, you want to make it sexy, you want to bring background pictures, you want to bring color to it, it means that you have to edit the form. So you can click any part of the form so that it will be selected. You see those boxes around the form, it means that the form has been selected. Or you can click the top here so that you select the form. Click it once, don't double click it. When you double click something, it means that you want to see the coding view. When you double click something, it means you want to see the coding view. We don't want the coding view right now. We just want to design the thing. So anytime you want to design something or select something, you single click it, don't double click. So after selecting the form, make sure that the name you see here is form. Whatever you select, make sure you see the name over here. Then now we want to bring a background picture to the form. So go to the properties and look for back color. Go to the properties and look for back color, or look for background image. Look for back color or look for background image. Look for back color or look for background image. Now, when you see back color, click at where they have written control. Click inside. When you click inside, you see a drop down menu. Now click on the drop down menu to get so many options. Now you can decide to go to custom. When you go to custom, it will give you some colors. Then you can decide to click on any color. Immediately you click on any color, it will have an effect on your background form. So this is how we choose colors for the background. Whatever color you pick, it changes it for you. Whatever color you pick, it changes it for you. Whatever color you pick, it changes it for you. In case you don't want color, you want background, then go back and make it default. Let it be how it was. So if you want to let it be how it was, click on the drop down. When you click on the drop down, then you go to system. When you go to system, then you click on the default, that is control. Then it becomes how it was. It becomes how it was. So in case you want a background image, you go to background image, click on where the none is, then you see some 3 ... over here. Click on the ... Then when you click on the dot dot dot, this thing will appear. When you see this thing, go to local resource. Go to local resource, click on local resource. When you click on local resource, click on import. Click on import. When you click on import, it will open by default. It will open your this thing, your computer where your downloads or your stuffs are. Then you select the picture you want. So me, I have already downloaded some picture. So I want this picture. So I select the picture, then I click on open. Now make sure that the format of the picture is JPG. JPG. So right now the format of my picture is not JPG. So I need to change the format of my picture. So I go to where the thing has been downloaded. I go to where the picture has been downloaded in my computer.
Eh.
Then I try to edit the picture and change it to JPG. So this is how I change it. Then I come here,
Alright now.
then I save it. So now I have changed my picture to JPG. So I go back to my where I select my picture, then I select this one, then I say open. When I say open, I see the picture over here. I see the picture over here. Then I click on open. Okay. Immediately I click on okay, it changes my background for me. Now, in case you don't want it to be like this, you don't want it to be divided. So you can come to here, background image layout. Background image layout. By default, it is tile. So you don't want it to be tile, you want it to be centered. So you click inside, then you go to the drop down. Then maybe if you want it centered, you click on centered. Then you can change it to center. If you don't want it to be centered, you can change it to maybe zoom. Then it will zoom out. If you don't want it to zoom out, you can change it to stretch. Then it stretches it. If you don't want it, and if you want tile, then change it to tile. Anyhow you want it. This is how we bring the picture to your form. In case maybe you want to write a title, you want to bring a title, say maybe registration form, and Sakai, or you want to write anything, you go to your toolbox, then you go and pick your label. You go and pick your label, you click it, and you drag and drop. Then you come to your text. Then you change the name of the label to maybe registration. So now, when you click any part of the form, it changes to registration. In case it is too small for you, you can't see it, it's too small. You want to enlarge the font, make it big. So click on that label again. Then now come and look for font at the properties. Font, F-O-N-T. When you see font, you click inside here. You see the dot, 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 dot. Click on it. When you click on it, then you can take any font you want. So in case I want this font, I take this font. Then I want it to be bold. Then I increase the size of the font. Then when I click on OK, it changes for me. In case you want to move it to left, right, front, back, center, you put your mouse arrow on it. Because it has already been selected, put your mouse arrow on it, click and hold it and drag it. Click and hold it and drag it to wherever you want it to be. Are we okay? So we can continue. So now we have designed our form. Now we need to put in the code behind the form. We need to put in the codes behind the form. So the code is being written behind the buttons. The codes are being written behind the buttons. So now we want to write the code for Claire. No, we want to let's write the code for close first. Close. So double click the button close, double click it. When you double click it, it opens the coding view for you. It opens the coding view for you. By default, your cursor will be blinking in between something. Your cursor will be blinking in between something. Make sure your cursor is blinking in between public sub button 2. Public sub button 2 underscore click. Make sure your button is blinking over there. Then type this code inside where your cursor is blinking. Let me bring a notepad so that you can see clearly the code you are supposed to type. Now, type for the close button, type this thing. I hope you can see this thing. So type me.close. Type me.close at where the cursor is blinking. Type me.close at where the cursor is blinking. Type me.close at where the cursor is blinking. Me.close is used to close a form. Me.close is used to close a form. Now, once you are done with that, once you are done with typing me.close, then you go back to your form design. You go back to your form design, then double click on the next. But before you double click on the next, you should make sure that you bring in the second form. Bring in the second form. Now, how do we bring in the form? I taught you. You go to where the name of the app is. You right click the name of the app. Then you go to add. When you go to add, this pop-up will come. Then you look for Windows form. For Windows form, click on Windows form. When you click on Windows form, by default, you see this. Make sure the name is form2.vb. Make sure the name is form2.vb. I am having 4 forms. That is why my name is form5.vb. But make sure yours is form2.vb. Then click on add. Click on add. When you do that, the second form will come for you. When your second form comes for you, when your second form comes for you, it will be empty. It won't be containing all these things. It will be empty. Then you switch to your form 1 design. Switch to your form 1 design. Switch to your form 1 design. Switch to your form 1 design where your design is. Then now double click on the next button. Double click on the next button. When you double click on the next button, wherever the button is blinking, wherever the button is blinking, type this. Type form2.show. Type form2.show. Type form2.show. Wherever the cursor is blinking at form 1, type form2.show. Type form2.show. Type form2.show. After you have typed form2.show, so your cursor will be blinking here. Then you type form2.show. You type form2.show. So after you are done, then you go back to your design. Then where the clear button is, you double click the clear button. When you double click the clear button, wherever the button is blinking at, wherever the cursor is blinking at, type this. Type this. Type this. Type this. Type textbox1.clear, textbox2.clear, textbox3.clear, textbox4.clear, textbox5.clear, textbox6.clear, textbox7.clear, textbox8.clear, textbox9.clear. Type this into wherever your cursor is blinking. Now, Once you are done typing this, once you are done typing this, you are good to test your system. Okay. Once you are done typing this, you are good to test your system. Now, I'm not going to save this because I am just using it to teach you. So I am deleting it, my form 4. I am deleting my form 4 because I'm just using it to teach you. But you don't delete yours. Don't delete yours because yours is form 1. So don't delete yours. So at the end of the day, your form 1, you are supposed to see something like this in your interface. Then at the coding side, you are supposed to see something like this. At your form 1 coding side, you are supposed to see something like this. Now, once you're able to do this, you just go to this top here, you see save. You see something like a diskette at the top here. Click on it, then it will save whatever you have done. Click on it, it will save whatever you have done. Now you have to test and see whether whatever you have done is working. So to test it, you go here where the written starts. You go here where the written starts, then you click on it. Once you click on it, it will build whatever you have done, then make the app available for you to test the system. So now you can test first, you can click on the next button and see whether your form 2 will show. When you click on the next button, your form 2 should be able to show. If your form 2 is showing, it means your next button is working. Then you can close it. Then now you test the clear and the close button. Type anything into your text box. Type anything into your text box. Type anything into your text box and make sure it is working. Type anything into your text box. Type anything into your text box. Then after typing anything into the text box, click on clear button. When you click on clear, whatever you have typed should be able to clear. So once it clears, it means your clear button is working. Once it clears, it means your clear button is working. Then, if you want to test your close button, click on close. When you click on close, the application should close. Now, it means that your clear button, your close button, and your next button are working. Now, we go to the form 2. We go to the form 2. Helena, don't worry, I'll make the video available for you so that at your own convenient time, you go through the video and you develop your app. Okay, I know I'm rushing. I want to use 30 minutes, 40 minutes to finish this video. So I'll make it available to you. Then you can play it over and over again and do yours. So we go to form 2. We go to form 2. So let me bring another form again so that I demonstrate how I did the form 2. So I bring a new form. So you already have your form 2. So your form 2 will be looking like this, empty by default. Now, the question says you should make a picture appear and disappear, appear and disappear, appear and disappear. So then we'll go to our toolbox, click on your toolbox, and look for picture box. Look for picture box. So you go to P, you see picture box, click on it and drag. Click and drag and release. Now when you release, you see that it's too small. If you want to make it big, then you enlarge it. You enlarge it to make it big. How you want it. Now, by default, it will look like this. Now you need to bring in the picture you want to display and disappear, display and disappear. So you see this arrow over here. You see this arrow over here. Click on the arrow. When you click on the arrow, this thing appears for you. When this thing appears, click on choose image. Choose image. When you click on choose image, it will open this for you. Click on local resource. Click on local resource. Then you could click on import. Import. When you click on import, then you select the picture you want to import. So maybe I want to import this picture. Then I click on open. Then it comes like this. Then you click on OK. Then your picture comes inside. Then you click any part, then it becomes like this. So now we have bought our picture. Okay. Now the question says that your picture should be able to disappear and appear, disappear and appear, disappear and appear. So we need to give it a time. How much long should it disappear? Or how much long should it stay disappeared? And how much long should it stay appear? So we will bring timer. We will bring timer. So you go to your toolbox, go and look for timer, go and look for timer, click on it and drag it and bring it to the playground. So when you drag and bring it to the playground, you see the timer over here. You see the timer over here. Don't worry, let it be over there. We will work on it later. Let it be over there. Now we have bought the timer. Now we need to give the application an instruction that when I click on you, let the picture appear, disappear. When I click on you, let the picture appear, disappear. When I click on you, let the picture appear, disappear. Then we'll bring another instruction that when I click on you, open the next form for me. When I click on you, open the next form for me. So we need a button. We need a button. So we go to the toolbox. When we go to the toolbox, then you go and look for button. You go and look for button. You click on the button, click and drag, then you draw. So now we need 2 buttons. You can decide to bring 3 buttons. That is the first one, appear, disappear button. The second one, close button. The third one, next button. Or you can decide to bring only 2 buttons, appear, disappear button, then next button. It is up to you. Now you know how to code for close. You know the code behind close button, me.close. So when you bring a button and you want to name it close and you want it to close the application, you just have to type me.close at the coding side. So now, by me, I'm bringing only 2 buttons. So this one, then I right click, I copy, right click again, I paste for the second button to come. So I want to name the first button appear, disappear. So appear, appear person appear, appear, comma, disappear, disappear. Or you can decide to say on and off. Let me use on and off. On slash off. But you can name it anything you want to name it. It is up to you. You can write the text anything you want. It is up to you. Then the second one, I want to say next. You can write it anyhow you want to write it. It is up to you. You are doing whatever you want to do. Customize it to your preference. So now, the coding for the on and off, appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So double click on the button for the on and off or your appear, disappear. Double click on it. When you double click on it, wherever the cursor is blinking, type this over there. Let me show you the code. Wherever the cursor is blinking, type this over there. Let me show you the code with help of notepad. So type this over there. Type this picture box one dot visible equal to false. Timer one dot interval is equals to 5,000. Now 5,000 means seconds. No, 5 minutes. No, it's not 5 minutes. It's 5 seconds. 5,000 means 5 seconds. So in case you want 20 seconds, do it 20,000. In case you want 10 seconds, do it 10,000. In case you want the 5 seconds now, do it 5,000. In case you want type the baby, you do it like that. This is milliseconds. This is 5,000 milliseconds. So you can do it anyhow you want it. If you want 10 seconds, do it 10,000. If you want 20 seconds, do it 20,000. But if you want the 5 seconds now, do it like this. Then write timer one dot start. So after you are done with typing this code, then we go back to our form again, our form design. Then we double click on the timer. Where the timer is, double click it. Double click the timer. When you double click the timer, type this into the timer. Wherever the cursor is blinking, type this into that place. Wherever the cursor is blinking, when you double click the timer, wherever the cursor is blinking, type this. Picture box dot one, picture box one dot visible equal to true, timer one dot stop. Type this over there. I assume you are done typing. Then we go back to our design. Then where the next button is, double click the next button. When you double click the next button, type from 3.show. When you double click the next button, type from 3.show. Type from 3.show. Now, because you've not brought or introduced the form 3, when you type from 3.show, something red will come under, meaning syntax error. It means that you've not introduced form 3. There's nothing called form 3, and you are writing from 3.show. But don't worry, just type from 3.show. Type from 3.show. Fine. Now from 3.show. So I assume your form 2. This is how your coding should look like. Private sub button 1 underscore click. You should have picture box 1 dot visible is equal to false. Timer 1 dot interval is equal to 5,000 or whatever milliseconds you want. You should have timer 1 dot start end sub. Then the second part, private sub, should be private sub timer 1 underscore tick. You should have picture box 1 dot visible is equal to true, timer 1 dot stop end sub. Then your third private sub should be private sub button 2 underscore click. You should have from 3 dot show. Okay. Now you need to introduce your form 3. So go to your design view of form 2. You know how to introduce a form. You go to the name of your application, you right click, then you go to add, then you go to Windows form. When you click on Windows form, you should see from 3.vb. You should see from 3.vb. When you see from 3.vb, then you click on add. Immediately you click on add, where this one was underlined with red line, or the red line will go away. The red line will disappear. So then you are done with introducing your form 3. So when you introduce your form 3, you can decide to save. Your form 3 will be empty. So you can decide to save and test and see whether your form 2 is doing what you want it to do, whether the on and off is coming. So you can decide to test and see whether the on and off is coming. You can decide to test and see whether the on and off is coming. Make sure that the coding at the form 2 is exactly like this. Make sure that the coding at the form 2 is exactly like this. If the coding at form 2 is exactly like this, your on and off pictures should come. And when you click on form, the next button, it should open form 3 for you. So let's continue. So by default, your form 3 is empty. So let me delete this form 4 and introduce another form 4 again, so that we work on form 3. So I am bringing a new form, so we work on form 3. So I'm bringing a new form. So yours should be form 3, not form 4. Yours should be form 3. I am using form 4 because I already have form 3. Okay, I already have form 3, and I'm using the form 4 to teach you. Okay. So now your question says that you should display a certain message in the text box. So it means that we need a text box and we need a command button. We need a text box and we need a button. So you go to your toolbox, go and look for text box. Click on it and drag and bring it to the playground. Then you leave it, then it comes to the playground. Now you notice that the text box is too small. but the message is long. So you need a wide text box. So if you want a wide text box, click on the arrow over here. Click on the arrow over here. You see an arrow over here. Click on the arrow. When you click on the arrow, you see something like multi-line. You see something like multi-line. You see something like multi-line. Click on the multi-line. Once you click on the multi-line, you just leave it. Then you can decide to open it, widen it. So when you widen it, it becomes like this. So it means that if the words are many, you can see it big. So you can widen it to any length you want. Then we go and bring a button. Go to your toolbox, go and look for button and bring a button. Click your button, drag and drop. Now the button, you can name it anything you want. You can name it display message or display, anything. You are customizing it to your preference so that your lecturer will know that you did it yourself. So, oh, I mean, so then I'm in church. Display. So you display it. At the end of the day, I'm going to make this video available on YouTube. Then I'll share the link to you. So when I share the link to you, you can either download from YouTube or you can watch from YouTube. You can download the video from YouTube or you can watch from YouTube. Then you can, if your friends need help, you can share the link to them. Share the link to them. Don't share the video. Share the link to them. Let them visit the YouTube and download it from YouTube themselves. Okay, or watch from YouTube themselves, so that at least the viewed will go high or will increase. Okay, so display. Okay, so now we are come to code or tell the system that when I click on display message, the message should display in the text box, not in the message box, but in the text box. So now double click on your display button. When you double click on the display button, type this code inside where the cursor is blinking. Type this code inside where the cursor is blinking. Type this code inside where the cursor is blinking. Type this code inside where the cursor is blinking. Let me change the font. No, let me make it big so that you see. Okay, then let me change the font to, let me change the font to maybe 24 or 22. Okay. So now you can see it. Textbox 1.text is equal to, that is the message. Hello, my love. What do you have for me as my Valentine's Day gift? Then you can say textbox 1.visible equals to true. Then textbox 1.read only equals to true. Now, textbox 1.visible simply means that let the text box be visible. Then textbox 1.read only is equal to true, meaning that it means that let the person be able to read only. Don't let the person be able to edit or add anything to the already existing text. So the user shouldn't be able to input in a text. Because it is a text box, somebody might be able to input a text. But when you turn the read only feature on, it means that nobody can edit the text. Nobody can input a new text into it. I hope you understand. So now enter this code into where the cursor is blinking. Then, because we want the lecturer to know that when you open your form 4, when you click on the next button at the form 2, when you click on next button and the form 3 comes, no, we want the lecturer to know that our message is truly displaying in the text box. We need to, by default, make the text box vanish. By default, if you click on next at form 2 and it opens form 3, by default you are not going to see any text box until you click on the button that display message. So if you want that feature to be enabled, double click any part of the form. Double click any part of the form. Now, when you double click any part of the form, you are going to see something like private sub form 3 underscore load. Private sub form 3 underscore load. That is where your cursor will be blinking at. So you are going to see something like private sub from 3 underscore load. So that is where your cursor will be blinking at. Then type into that place, type this, type textbox 1 dot visible equals to false. Textbox 1 dot visible equal to false. Textbox 1 dot visible equal to false. Type that into the text box. Type that into where the cursor is blinking. Type that into where the cursor is blinking. Now, if you're able to do that, we are done with our coding. Make sure that your form 3 looks like this. The coding view of your form 3. Make sure it looks exactly like this. Your coding view, make sure it looks exactly like this. Unless maybe you want to add more buttons to it and customize it to your own. Okay, you can add a close button to it. Make sure your text, your coding view of form 3 looks like this. Then make sure your coding view of form 2 looks like this. Make sure your coding view of form 2 looks like this. Make sure your coding view of form 2 looks like this. Maybe the only difference can be the timing, the time interval. And maybe you want to bring clear button and no, extra buttons. They are then fine. Then make sure your coding view of form 1 looks like this. Unless maybe you want to bring, unless maybe you want to bring new this. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. So sorry, my network went down. So it should look like this. Your form 1 coding end should look like this. Your form 1 coding end should look like this. Should look like this. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, At the end of the day, you should be able to get a complete application working or running. At the end of the day, your application should be able to function like this. Let me show you. I'm running my system right now. At the end of the day, your application should look like this. You should be able to, when you enter steps into your system, when you enter steps into your system, you should be able to use the clear button. You should be able to go to next. When you click on the on and off, it should be able to last or work for you. Okay. Then when you click on next and you click on display message, it should be able to work. So at the end of the day, you should be able to get something like this. Now you can decide to, excuse me, you can decide to customize your form by bringing in image at the background, by bringing in labels, or by bringing in color at the background. You can decide to customize your form too by doing all these steps. Now with the text, if you want to change the color of the font of the text, okay, so you can go to font. You know, when you click on that thing, when you click on the label, then you go to back color. When you go to back color, when you go to back color, then you can decide to go to custom. Then you can decide to change the color, the back color. Maybe you want the back color to be, yeah, you can decide to change the back color. Or maybe if you don't want to change the back color, you want to change the highlighting, you go to font. When you go to font, you can go to font color. When you go to font color, it will change the writings of the thing itself. So you change the writings. Yeah, in case you want to change the font of this one, so you change, then you change the font. Yes, so I hope so in case you want to change the writings, the color of the writings, in case you want to change the color of this writing, this level, I want to change the level, I want the color of the writing, or I don't want it to be black, I want it to be pink. So you look for font, you come here and you look for font. So when you look for font color, you look for font color. When you see font color, then you click on the drop down, then you go to custom, then you can select any color you want. So the color you select, that is what you are going to see. So in case I select red, my level, the writing will change. If you want it to be black like that now, then go to custom, then you go to control X, then it becomes black. If you want to change the font, you don't want the font to be like this. You go to font, you come to font here, the dot dot dot, then you change the font. So maybe you want it like this, bold, and you want it like this, then go to OK. Then the font will change for you. In case maybe you want to change the color at the background of the label, you go to back color. When you select the label, then you go to back color. You go to back color. So when you get to back color, then you change the back color to any color you want. So maybe if you want this color, you change it to this color. If you don't want that color, you want this color, you change it to this color. So any color you want, that will help you customize the app, make it your own, so that your lecturer will know that you didn't copy Asimisi or Benton's work. Okay. So now, after you are done with everything, your lecturer wants you to take screenshots. He wants you to take screenshots. So let me teach you how to take the screenshots, and I'll teach you how to do the PDFs. Then we are done. So now this is how we take the screenshots. You first have to take screenshots of all the design layout. Take screenshot of all the design layout. So the first design interface is the form 1. Then you take a screenshot from 2, take a screenshot from 3. So now this is how you take screenshots. Then when you are done, you take the coding view too. From 1 coding view, from 2 coding view, from 3 coding view. Then you run the app, then you take a screenshot of the app running again. So now this is how you take screenshots. Go to where your desktop, when you see the desktop, you see this search button over here. Click on the search button and click on sniping tool. Snipping, sniping tool. So you are going to see something like this, sniping tool. Then click on the sniping tool. When you click on it, you are going to see something like this. You are going to see something like this. Now, when you see something like this, you click on new. Click on new. When you click on new, your screen will become white like this. It means that which parts do you want to snap? Which parts do you want to snap? And your mouse cursor will turn to plus. So you start from where you want to start. So maybe I want to snap the whole thing like this. Then you snap like this. So when you snap like this, then you release it. When you release it, then you take the picture. It takes a snap of your screen. Then if you want, you need to save this screenshot. Then you go to file. When you go to file, then you go to save as. When you go to save as, then you name it, maybe you name it screen one. Screen one. So when you name it screen one, then you change the format. You change the format to JPG. JPG. Then you click on save. Then you click on save. So when you are done, then you minimize this one. You minimize it. You minimize it. Then you go and select your form 2 design. You go and select your form 2 design. Then you come to the sniping tool again. Then you click on new. Then this one will come again. The white part will come again. Then you take a screenshot of it again like this. Then you release. Then you go to file. Then you go to save as. Then you say screen 2 or anything you want to name it. Then you change the format to JPG. Then you save. Then you minimize again. Then you go to your screen 3. Then you come again. Then you take it. Then you go to, when you are done with the screen 3, then you go to the coding view of form 1. Then you do the same process. When you are done, you go to coding view of form 2. Then you do the same process. Then you go to coding view of form 3. Then you do the same process. Okay? Then after that, then you start your app. You test your app. You start it. So when you start your app, then you make it big. You make it big. Then you come to the sniping tool which you have minimized. Then you go to new. Then you take a screenshot of the app which is running. Okay. Then you save it, file. Then you say save as. Then maybe screen 3. Then you save it. Then you minimize it. Then now you type something into the text box. Type something into the text box. Type something into it. Type something into it. Type something into it. Type something into it. Then take a screenshot again. Snap. New. Take a screenshot again. Take a screenshot again. After taking a screenshot, then you save it by going to file, save as, then you save. So maybe screen 4. Then you save. Then you minimize again. Then now you click on the clear button. Click on the clear button. Once you click on the clear button, then you take another screenshot again. Then you save. Then after that, you go to next. You go to next. When you go to next, then you enlarge it. Then you take another screenshot. When you take another screenshot, then you save. Then when you save, now this one you have to be fast. Over here you have to be fast. So you click on the display, not display, no. So you click on it. When it goes off, then you do fast. Then you take your screenshot. You do fast. Then you take your screenshot fast. Then you take it. So once you take it, you see right now, it didn't display. So it shows that I have clicked on it. So you see that blue thing on the on and off. It means that I clicked on it. Okay. Then you save it. Then after you save it, then you click on your next button. This one to you enlarge it. Then you take a screenshot of this one when the text box is not there. Then you save it. Then you click on the display. The text box will come. Then you take another screenshot. Then you save it. So when you are done with all your savings, then you come back again. Then you go and take Microsoft Word. Now make sure that you are using Microsoft Word, which is not less than 2010. So you can use Microsoft Word 2010, Microsoft Word 2012 or 2013, Microsoft Word 2016, Microsoft Word 2019. I am using Word 2019. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that 2020 has come, but I've not downloaded 2020. So I'm using Word 2019. So you open a blank document. When you open a blank document, you write your ID number, you write the course title, whatever you want to write, you write. All descriptions you want to write. Then you come down, then you go to insert. When you go to insert, then you go to picture. When you go to picture, then it opens where your pictures have been saved. Then you start pick screen one. You select it, then go to insert. Then it comes. Then maybe if you want to write something, then you say my first screen. Then go to next. You go to insert, go to picture, then you go to your screen two. Then if you want to type something, then you say, okay, da. So you do it like that until you load all the pictures. So after you have loaded all the pictures, then you go to file, you go to save as. Then when you go to save as, then you go to this PC, then you locate where you want to save your picture. If you want to save your PDF, wherever you want to save it, fine. Then you go to the save type, then you choose PDF. So maybe the name of the file, you can use your index number. You can use your index number. Then you choose PDF, then you click on save. So immediately you click on save, it will save the document into a PDF for you. So now this is my document. This is my PDF document. Then you can submit this document to your lecturer. I hope you understand and you can do it on your own. Okay. So in case you have any question, you can put it at the YouTube video over there. You can ask a question over there. And also, if you don't have any question, then this is how you can go about with your work. But make sure you customize your interface, your form interface. You bring in more pictures to make it more lovely so that you can earn more points or you can earn more marks so that the lecturer will know that you did it yourself, even though you had a video to help you, but you did it yourself. So I'll be ending here and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel Redo, diploma teaching assistant, University of Ghana. Uh, yeah, thank you very much.